Hello everyone and welcome back to Kerbel Space Program. Of course, I am Phil from Black Book Gaming and we are here to hopefully, well, for what is probably going to be one of many failures, but this is what I've got planned for our beginning of our space station. What I'm looking at is, got these giant solid rocket boosters up here, try and get us into orbit, lots of tons of thrust. I'm hoping this can get us into orbit. We're going to see about that. Really, these two tanks are what I'm trying to get into orbit. These two tanks, if we can get these up there, that means we can start refueling from in space, which is really going to be helpful in trying to go out to do our rescue missions to the moon, do our rescue missions to Minmus, and then try to move on to other places out of the solar system. If we can start getting some kind of a fueling space station up there, that would be perfect. It'd be exactly what we need. I've got two docking ports. I've got one way up here on top, and I've got this multi-port docking thing here. So we got 4 open ports there. I've got a crew cabin, but there's nobody in this this thing right now. There is just going to be a battery and this little robotic module up here. This tiny little module. That's all it's going to be controlling this for the time being, because right now I just want to get this thing up into space. I've called it Space Station 1. We will see if that's even a name that can be lived up to. And like I said, this is probably going to be one of many disasters that I'm going to film over here the next few minutes as I try to get this thing into orbit. I don't even think I'm going to need full throttle here. Let's turn SAS on. And wow, look at that thing shake. It's like this thing's just like rocking down here. So unstable. Having these bigger modules, these bigger tanks, just make it so much more unstable. Let's go ahead and try to get this thing off the ground. 3, 2, 1. Oh my gosh! Wait! Oh shit! I didn't put enough structure in here. We are gonna. This is gonna be a disaster. This is definitely a disaster in the making. Let's throttle those down a little bit. No, we can't do too much because we're going to start losing altitude if we do that. We want to pick up some speed. Oh, this is so bad. This is so bad. I've not messed too much with the whole much larger system. God, look at these things. They're bending. They're going to crush inwards. I'm surprised this thing has not blown up yet. The amount of stress is on these little joints. Oh, we're going over. We're going over. Yeah, this is going to be a disaster. Turn RCS on. Try to save it. Not going to happen. Okay, we get rid of those. So I've got some structural deficiencies. Let's go ahead and throttle up here. Burning off all of our RCS fuel very, very fast. And there's no way I can stop the spin. Yeah, so we've got some structural deficiencies to work on. A few $1 million is going to get, you know, destroyed here. Oh, yeah. Wow. Crushed. There's our little module. Space debris everywhere. Well, not even space debris. Didn't even make it that far. There goes our habitation area. Thankfully, nobody in it. Nice little spiral there by that last remaining engine that's still firing. And we're going to go back to the drawing board once again on this. I've got a lot more structure to put in. Alright, so we'll be back in just a second. Okay, back out of the launch pad. We've done a little bit of work here. As you can see, I've got some canards up here trying to help us stabilize because we got that horrible spin last time. Added in a ton more of these little structural struts. Hopefully going to keep us nice and steady. And I think we're about ready for test number 2 of this rocket. It's still such a beast. And let's try to get us off the ground. Okay, taking off. Still a little on the wobbly side. Way better than last time. We're not tilting everywhere. This thing is kind of going badly though. I don't know if that's going to work or not. Okay, solid rocket boosters are now burning out. We're 100 meters per second already. Maybe going a little bit on the quick side. Nope, we're not actually, because we're going to start slowing down if we don't stay at full throttle here. And let's see what we can do here. So we're 135. So we're now passing 3,000 meters. Our solid rocket boosters are probably going to cut out here in the next few seconds. Hopefully that'll stable things up a little bit. If not, it could actually make it worse. And there they go. Cut them loose. So now not quite as erratic, although it sounded like something exploded. Maybe it was just those solid rocket boosters hitting one another. Yeah, I think we're actually doing a much better job this time around. Heading up past 8,000 meters, we're going a little bit quick. We are still kind of wobbling quite a bit as well. Hoping that when I cut loose on this next set of rockets that we can, well, by that time we should hopefully be kind of out into space a little bit. Wow, we are still so unstable, and we are spinning. Outstanding. We've passed the point where those canards and all the wings are going to do me any good. So now we're in a nice little rotation here. Take a quick check on our 40,000 meters. Not bad. Okay, those have cut out. We get rid of those. Turn on the next one. Wow, we're still spinning really bad. Oh, and we're not going straight either. We're not going straight up anymore. Really not going straight up. Please slow down that spin. Okay, so we definitely need some more, maybe some SAS. Oh, we're going into a gravitational turn. Let's oh god, let's throttle back. No, other way. There we go. Oh my gosh, this thing is so unstable. So unstable. Okay, straighten us out right there. '83, '84. So we're still gaining altitude. We're still gaining speed. We're less than half throttle. So we actually have what we need as far as the power goes. We got tons of fuel. Turn off our RCS for a little bit. Maybe we can hopefully... Okay, there's the music. So we're in space. 96. Are we... Well, we're actually even on a pretty good... Okay, let's cut throttle. Wow. Alright, let's try to arrow over a little bit. Make our turn here. God, this thing is an absolute beast. Okay, we're approaching our apoapsis right now. We're 50 seconds out. I got a feeling when I fire this thing up, I could absolutely just lose control. So we're going to try and take it nice and easy here. Not easy. Does this thing actually gimbal? Yeah, supposedly it does. But I think this thing is it's too long. There's too much top heavy weight that it's just trying to compensate for way too much. Okay, so we need to throttle up now. Gotta get some speed going here. Okay, I think we're going somewhat straight. We're still, well, we're a little wobbly. Okay, hang on. Lots of fuel. Staying behind that apoapsis nicely. SAS is hanging in there. 7 seconds behind. We're gaining really good actually now. Our speed is 1200. Let's bring that up. Let's get that out where we need it to be. Stage only. No, it's not one to work. Crap. Staying behind. We're actually going to have a ton of fuel. This thing's actually overbuilt by quite a bit. So 1,600 meters. We're going to have lots of fuel left. This will actually get us into orbit. Actually really going better than planned. The second iteration of this the ship is going nicely. And now we're actually falling behind our apoapsis by quite a bit. We're behind it by over a minute now. Let's see if we can't bring us back over to... God, I can't even do that without RCS. This thing just does not move without RCS. There, let's lock that in right about there. Ah, we're drifting off again. Come back, come back. So much harder to handle these things when they're just this lumbering, beastly machine. Okay, we're gonna call that good. And let's go ahead and throttle up a little bit more. Yeah, we're coming up on our apoapsis. A little bit more. We're going to start off with a larger station than what I first intended to have. In fact, I've got a jet rocket that I don't even freaking need. Okay, so let's try and get us a nice orbit. Let's cut that down. Once again, trying to move this thing without RCS is just impossible. .20 and 54. So let's speed up a little bit. Let's get over toward this apoapsis so we can push this out, push our other side out to about the same. Slow it down. Okay. Once again, turn on RCS, move us over. So now that I've got this, if this is going to be our station, I'm going to have to try some way to refuel it, because I'm going to start depleting fuel from it. And then I'm going to have to start making ships that will be able to utilize the fuel that we have up here. So that's going to be our next big push. This is going to be great. This happened a lot faster than I expected it to. 120... 113, 122. You know what? I'm very content with calling that close enough almost, because this thing is just such a pain in the ass to move around. Let's see. So now I've actually got a need to basically build a fleet. If this is, because I'm gonna have to, we're gonna expand this thing, make it larger. We're going to add in plenty of fuel to it so that it can house a lot of fuel, and then it's going to have some way for ships to come up and refuel it so it can refuel other ships. I know I've already said that once, but I'm just trying to think my process through on how I'm going to do this. Oh, we're drifting. We're drifting back the wrong way. Okay. Stabilize, 113, 122. Bingo, 122, 123. Okay, so this is going to be our beginning of our station. This rather massive beast. I almost want to get rid of this backstage, but I've got so much fuel left on it that I don't want to. Maybe if I have need to drain some of the fuel off of this, I can get rid of that thing later. Okay, so let's get back down to the, oh shit, we're losing power. I gotta extend the solar panels. Solar panels, where do I put them at? There they are. I do not want this thing to die in space. Okay, so there's our solar panels. They will now, sun exposure 0. That's because the sun's not up. But when the sun comes up, they'll have plenty of exposure. We've got a battery on there which will keep us with plenty of power. Turn SAS off because it really doesn't freaking matter anymore. This thing's just going to kind of... Is he actually... is he rotating? I think he is. I don't want this thing to spin. It's got to maintain just to be as straight as possible. Otherwise, docking with it's going to be terrible. See, I wanted to get rid of those things. I'm going to turn SAS on, he starts to spin again. think that's probably about as straight as it's going to be. It's rotating just a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to have to leave SAS off because as long as these things are back here, it's actually creating a spin. So at some point I'm going to have to knock that off. Okay, so we've got our sunlight on our solar panels. This one has no exposure just because of the angle. These should be in full sunlight. We got power, and that's going to be it for this part of it. So let's see if we can do to add on to our space station. So this is going to be our core, and then we're going to kind of branch out and off of these nodes here. Okay, so we're going to go back to the space center. We're going to start building some more ships. First thing I'm going to do is I've got to dock. I've got to be able to dock with this thing. So that's probably the first thing I'm going to do. We'll be right back with some more Kerbal Space Program in just a few seconds. Alright, hello everyone. I am back once again, and we are going to take this is our original, or not original, this is Moonlander 5, very familiar looking craft, and we've done some modifications to it. We pulled off all the legs on it. We still got our 2 engines on there. I know this thing can get us into orbit, and that's really what I'm looking for it to do, so we can try and get a docking mission going on. Added on some lights, and took off all those scientific stuff off of there, so we don't need that. So this is what we're going to use to try and make our first docking attempt with. Save that thing off. Let's head to the launch pad here. And, alright. Nighttime launch with Mr. Bill Kerman, which means Bob is on the moon, and Jebediah is on Minmus. So let's go ahead and get this thing up. We know this thing is very capable of getting us up. Let's turn it on SAS. Don't forget that. We already got a little bit of tilt going on. Did some reading up on how to do docking. That's something that there's no way I was going to try and just wing that one. A lot of tilt going on. Okay, there we go. Okay, get rid of those. Going to throttle up. Oh, losing speed. That's right, this thing does that. I forgot. I forgot how this thing operated. It's a bit of a mess, but you know what? It'll get us there. That's exactly all we needed to do. Let's turn on RCS again. Let's maneuver this beast. Although it's nowhere near as bad as that last one we had. Hang on. We're drifting back. Okay, stabilize it up. Or not. What the crap? We're kind of a little out of control here. Let's reset SAS. Stay right there. Okay. We're heading up. We're heading faster. We're 6,000 meters off the ground. Getting ready to cut off that section. There we go. Now we're picking up some speed. Moving and doing very nicely, I think, at the moment. We'll break through this first layer of atmosphere here in just a few moments, and that's hopefully when we'll start to really accelerate past 200 meters per second. Of course, if we look at our apoapsis, it's going to be like dreadfully low. Yeah, 8,000. Whoa, what was that? See, we're actually going more drifting than we are going up, which is not good. But speed's picking up. We're starting to break out of this atmosphere. And then everything will be alright. We still got a huge amount of fuel left in the center engine just to get us into orbit, which is what we're looking for. 12,000 meters. Now we're speeding up. We're breaking out of the atmosphere. We're still trailing kind of the side a little bit, but we're doing okay. Half our fuel is still left in these four main stages, or main, I don't know what it's called, so these 4 booster stages, and we still have our main stage left to go. 300 meters per second, let's see, 22,000. Doing nicely. And that little popping sound every once in a while, I'm not sure what that is. Sounds bad, but maybe it's nothing. Hopefully it's nothing. .500 meters per second. Now we're picking up real speed. Down to just a little tiny bit left on this stage. Cut it out very shortly. Not matching up very well, are they? Stage. Goodbye. Oh, God, those tops hit the center fuel. Although I'm just really lucky it doesn't explode that center fuel tank right there. When it hits it, it blows up the tops of those stages that are falling away. I kind of need to fix that. All right. So let's see what we got going here. We're slowing down just a tiny little bit. We're at full throttle. Okay, about to 81,000. Good, good. Bring that up. Now we're gaining up some speed. Gaining speed, gaining altitude. There is Moonlander 3 over there on the moon. Can we see our space station? Nope, that's Moonlander 6 over there on Minmus. And our space station's, oh, our space station's actually on the other side of the planet. I launched way too soon. 100, we're moving out. Let's go ahead and fall into orbit if we can. Okay, come on. Even it up. There we go. Wow. We're definitely have to do some orbit adjusting because that's not good. That's a horrible, horrible setup. Let's see. I know that we can set that as our target. And, okay, we're coming up on having to make our burn. Turn RCS off. And let's go ahead and, let's see, 39 seconds. 30 seconds we'll start our burn. That'll burn through pretty much all the rest of this current stage of fuel. Got about half tank. Let's go ahead and start that up because it's not a huge amount of thrust coming out of that thing. Just remember, it seems like every time we keep overshooting our apoapsis, like we're going to do again this time. Gaining some speed, slowly. We are definitely now out into space, as you can tell from the music. And ascension mode 2.3, 2.2 degrees. Okay, so we might be leveling out our orbit just a little bit, which is good. Yeah, we're past our apoapsis. Dang it. We're at 107,000 meters, which I think was, so I think we can still recover this. I just didn't plan it out quite well enough. But we might actually have a pretty solid orbit now. Okay. So, that one. Throttle down. Fire up that one. Okay. Now let's make our push on 102. We're losing altitude. So let's bring a little more angle back into it. 99. Gaining fast. Good speed though. 0.08. Negative 0.08. Or 0.8. not sure what I don't know exactly. I'm assuming that means that we are off base by about a degree as far as. Yeah, I think I've actually flipped my orbit a little bit. (1700) altitude is 90,000 meters. Oh, we're losing altitude pretty quickly here. Gaining speed pretty fast, but I don't want to keep falling, so otherwise we're gonna come back into the atmosphere, which will kind of ruin the whole point of doing this. Okay, get the speed up, 2,000. Okay, there's the end of that stage. Cut that one loose. This one should carry us the rest of the way up. There we go. So the whole purpose of this is just docking. That's all I wanted to do is dock. Okay, there's our orbit. And okay, we're at 8,000, or sorry, 106 and 82, which is good. Everything else should fall back to the planet. And now we gotta start looking at getting ourselves an encounter going with the space station over here. Let's fast forward. Like I said, I've done a little bit of reading on this. I'm hoping I'm gonna do right by it. I want to try and get my orbit as close as I can, really, here. I got a feeling there's also going to be a lot of fast forwarding in this, too. Okay, slow down. Okay, so this should be the target. Stop. No, that should be the target. The other one should be the away from target. Okay. Alright. We don't appear to have any point where we come very close to our space station. Okay, let's fast forward again. Oh, I'm too low. I should have gone for a higher orbit. Cause I'm too low. 120,000 meters. Okay, so this could take a little while. Okay, so I'm basically directly opposite where I want to be from. Is that over here, the space station? Steady. Okay. Okay, hang on. So I have these are encounter points. 14,000 kilometers away. Yeah, you know what? That's not going to work. 14,000. So we're going to have to do a lot of fast forwarding. I'm going to come back when I get closer to this thing, because I'm going to have to get I really am going to have to get a lot closer. So we'll come back in just a few minutes. Hopefully we'll have a closer encounter, and we'll start trying to get to a point where we can start docking with this thing. Okay, so coming back here for a second, you see I launched on the entirely wrong side of the planet. I've been orbiting now for about 12 hours, just trying to get this dumb thing closer together. We're finally getting somewhat close. An encounter point intersection at 183 kilometers. That's still way, way far out there. Like I said, from what I've been reading, I really want it to be within like 10 or 15 kilometers, maybe 20 at the most, before I start trying to actually approach this thing. That's 82. We're getting closer. But, yeah. So I did something. I mean, this was just terrible planning on my part. Launched at completely the wrong time. Should have been much closer to when the station was overhead. So there's that one. Next one around, 41. It's still such a far distance. We'll see what this does when we come around over here. because it's dropping by about 40 every time. So maybe it's what we're looking for is the next time around on this orange one that we'll get lucky and just be really close. Let's see, and let's take a look at it. Boom, and they're at 23. Okay, that's kind of far out, but that's where we're gonna actually make our shot for this at 23 kilometers. The other thing that I've been looking at is my target speed. My difference between my target speed here is 115. This is I've got to go through. I guess I've got to zero this out as much as possible, and then do approaches to my target. So we're getting ready to start this up here. And okay, coming around. Actually, we're getting a little bit further away. Let's go ahead and slow down. So what we're supposed to do is, and I'm going to go ahead and go to this view here. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down. Is zero out our speed to our target, our speed versus our target, so we match speed with the target. And fuel's not a huge concern because this was meant for a moon lander and we're not doing that, so 15. Okay, hang on, we're drifting. Okay, so 2. That's bad. I don't think we're getting any better than that. So zero out our speed and then approach our target. Oh, holy crap, there it is right there. We can actually see it. So let's approach. Let's take it up to about, say, I don't know how fast, 30, 40, maybe 50 meters per second here. So let's approach. And we'll give it some time. We'll get a little bit closer. And then at some point we'll go back through and we'll re-zero out our speed again. So we're getting closer. I want to speed this up a little bit more. We're doing 70. So let's go ahead and start facing away so we get ready to zero out our speed again. Okay. Rotating a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to wait until we get kind of close. We're going to see how close we can get on this pass. 12 kilometers, not bad. Let's see if we can speed this up a little bit. The other way. Now this thing ought to be massive compared to this little ship that we're in right now. 876. Okay, so we're starting to pass underneath it here. Yeah, 7.6. Or 6.6, 6.5. So we're actually going to pass, it looks like, underneath it. And so let's go ahead and zero out that speed again. Because I got a feeling we're not going to get any closer on this approach. So let's turn SAS off, follow the circle, stop. Okay. So we've zeroed out most of our speed. Now we're going to approach him once again. Maybe not quite so fast this time. Let's say 40. Oh, 44. Good enough. So now we're going to approach again. Let's go ahead and flip back around because we've got to get ready to slow down again. If I understand it right, this should be bringing us pretty much into, well, I was going to say perfect orbit, but yeah, we're not there yet. It's supposed to be bringing us into a perfect orbit. It looks like I'm going to be way short on that other side, But I'm sure that hopefully that's supposed to kind of level out and let us kind of get really nice and close and stay just perfect on our orbits together. If we just keep doing this, you know, slowing down our target speed and then approaching our target, supposedly it's supposed to really sync up our orbits. Bill is, of course, freaking out. Okay. I might push this thing into a higher orbit. I'm thinking about pushing this thing up to almost 200,000 kilometers, just because of the need for being able to fast forward. See, 2.4, 2.3. I wonder how close I have to actually be able to see this thing. Oh, I think right there. I think I do see it. I think it's starting to render it in. 2 kilometers, 1.9. How close are we going to get on this pass? 1.6. Okay, hang on. We're going to get underneath a kilometer? Yeah. Oh, you can see it. It's just, yeah, of course, I think it's actually still turning. Okay, let's keep on the circle. Okay. So now we've slowed ourselves down to pretty much in line with the with it. Let's flip around over here.